Good morning and welcome. Yep, it's a Friday. TGIF. Now the world gradually begins activity. Now it feels so good to be with you this morning. Thank you for letting us into your homes. We are very excited. Now, I know, so a number of you, there's no Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, just all lazy days and all of that. But finally, life is coming back to normal beat by bit, and of course we're thankful for that. Of course, we love to put a splash of sunshine in your face every morning. Welcome to this special Friday edition of your numero uno family breakfast show on TV, Wake Up Nigeria. Now we have a great show prepared for you to ease you into the weekend. For those of you who had to go out, and of course you definitely had to obey the curfew, we're here to ensure that the ease or the segue into your weekend is something that would make you smile. Now, stay tuned till the end. I am Mike Messikeno. You can stream it live with us at tvcentertainment.tv. On Facebook, it's at TVC Connect. Now, we would definitely love your contributions on social media. Engage with us. Use the hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter with the handle at TVC Connect across all platforms. Now you can also download our app. It's available on Android and iOS store, and you can interact with us, watch us from anywhere once you have internet connection. So Friday the 8th of May. I'm happy for a number of reasons. I will let you know as the show progresses. But then let's kick off this morning with some motivation. Of course, today Jijonwo has us covered on that one.
They are. And I've heard somebody ask this question before at a seminar and says, if you were the other person, would you love you?
After that, we will be looking at recent developments in the world of sports. Omar Akatuba will be joining us from Germany. He's based there as an esports caster and journalist. We'll be talking about why I'm happy much later. And then we would have a guest, singer, songwriter, and rapper, Dr. Seed, will be here with us on the show. We'll talk about what he's been up to. Guys, they're just rocking to this tune and looking also very nice. Well, you want to stay fashionable. I know people that love fashion, as it's mandated that we use our face masks to help curb the spread of the virus. Folake Oyemade of Sam & Sarah will be with us via Skype. We will showcase some stylish face mask designs. And of course, we would love to know how you've been holding it up. Let's gist, man. Friday, interact with us. Use the hashtag WakeUpNigeria. I'd spoken about that earlier. We would have quite a lot of fun on the show. And then finally, our final guest this morning is Afiz Oyetoro, aka Saka. Well, he will be with us here. He's someone who has been a great part of many TV series, movies, and comedies across the years. Today we'll be talking to him and trying to glean some of that from that well of wisdom that is Saka. And of course, I hope you have been keeping it real. It's not easy, but hey, come on, we have to do our best to obey safety procedures and protocols and all of that. Please stay safe. Watch how you're going. It's weekend. So last month, a number of people were caught out partying, and even some in strip clubs. Hey, come on, it's weekend. Doesn't mean that you go do anything that you're not supposed to do. You'll be caught. All right, let's move on straight to the news now. After 10 months of consistent decline, the country's foreign reserves returned to a growth path, gaining $449.5 million in 1 week. According to the CBN, the reserves rose from $33.44 billion in April, ending to $33.9 billion as at May 5. The IMF had stated that a sharp fall in international oil prices, together with reduced global demand for oil, was worsening Nigeria's fiscal and external positions. The economy, which remained highly reliant on foreign exchange proceeds and the recycling of petrodollars, is expected to contract by 3.4% this year. a 6 percentage point drop compared to pre-COVID-19 projections. Now, there is an ongoing face-off between air cargo handling companies and freight forwarding practitioners at the international airport in Lagos. Professional freight forwarders and logistics operators are kicking against the insistence of the airport cargo handling companies to levy storage charges on cargoes under their custody during the course of a lockdown as ordered by the federal government. The group complains that the cargo handling companies are billing importers millions of naira for rent on cargoes that were under lockdown. Describing their mode of operation as a monopoly, they question the rationale behind the complete disregard to government's directive, noting that their action is eroding the ease of doing business policy of government.
This is so sad because if a federal government give an order and all the small business can comply, and these big companies decide that they will come together to exploit people, now we lack choice. Because there's no consumer right in this case. You can't go to Saka, you can't go to NACO because they've come together to cheat us. You have no choice. In fact, this is a monopoly. If this should continue, because I must tell you the excessiveness is too much, the cheating is too much. You can't continue to give people charges at all times.
During the lockdown, people are not allowed to do business. They only gave priority to those who are doing essential services like COVID-19, like medical materials. But even though that at the airport trying to work to get a shipment outside, the same handlers didn't give any good opportunity.
We did not lock down the warehouse by ourselves. It was a directive from the federal government. Therefore, we ask ourselves, why must it be so? We do not have any reason for us to pay any demurrage on any cargo that has come within that period. That is our stand.
Russian services sector activity dived to a record low in April as emergency restrictions to limit the impact of the coronavirus pandemic closed businesses and caused demand to plummet. That's according to local survey. The market purchasing managers index for services fell to 12.2 in April from 37.1 in March, far below the 50 mark that separates expansion from contraction and its lowest reading since the survey began in October 2001. New business for Russian services firms contracted at a record pace, with the related sub-index slumping to 20.3 in April. The employment sub-index fell to a series low of 30.7. Business expectations remained pessimistic, but confidence has increased slightly from March levels, in line with negative expectations among private sector firms. It currently forecasts a 3.6% contraction in GDP in 2020. Now, 2 weeks of coronavirus shutdown were enough to hit Air France KLM with an €815 million first quarter operating loss. That's the latest from the airline group, predicting demand could take several years to recover. Chief Financial Officer Frederick Gagey highlighted in the month of March there was an abrupt plunge in revenue that will obviously extend through the second quarter. Air France KLM, which has received €7 billion in French-backed rescue aid and Dutch pledges for a further €2 billion to €4 billion, expects to reduce monthly cash burn to €400 million in the second quarter. But operating losses will widen significantly in April-June, with 95% of flights expected to remain grounded. Air France KLM's revenue fell 15.5% to €5.02 billion in the first quarter. Its net loss widening to €1.8 billion from €324 million. Formally withdrawing its pre-crisis 2020 guidance, Air France said it now planned to reduce its aircraft fleet by 20% in 2021. And that's it on the news update for now. We'll take a recess and we'll come back with sports news. For now, we have to take a look at the headlines of the dailies this morning, and I will kick off from the Punch. Quite interesting headlines here. NAFDAC meets researchers, herbalists over local treatment. I like this one. I like this one. COVID-19 home-based solution. NAFDAC meets researchers and herbalists over local treatment. And the first annotation there goes on to say that Health Ministry asks agency to assess plant-based remedy. 10 persons test positive for coronavirus at Lagos House. And we can see the picture story there. The governor of Port Harcourt, Governor Nyesom Wike, has been trending. This was yesterday. Lockdown. Wike arrests violators, accuses police of complicity. Complicity, yeah, of course. And we can see those arrested. This is the main bowl of the stadium there. I think that should be the Adokie Mesmaka Stadium. And of course, there's also this picture here of the governor who arrested this lady who was pregnant but let her go on compassionate grounds. Kudos to the governor there. 3 jump lines underneath all of that. Justice Saleh, the first jump line, annulled June 12, dies at 81. That jump line takes you to page 11. Ogun lawmaker kicks as herdsmen kill 1 and kidnap police woman. Jump line to pages 4 and 5. Face mask, Ogun threatens prosecution. Akaredolu orders violators arrest. Pages 9 and 14. Let's look at above the paper flag. GSM subscribers hit 187.15 million. That's about maybe a 90% prevalence rate if I take if I look at the figures at 200 million for all Nigerians. Internet users grow by 15%. Now that's some large numbers there. Again, court stops FG from extraditing Kashamu to US. Lawyers tackle FG's plan to spend $311 million Abacha loot. 300 Nigerians in UK arrive today, set for quarantine. And all of this on the front page of The Punch. And I'll move to the Vanguard. 10 staff of Lagos State House test positive for COVID-19. That's on the front page. Sanwo-Olu and wife test negative again as Assembly directs government to account for COVID-19 donations. Okay, Lagos records 183 new cases as confirmed cases nationwide rise to 3,526. And there's a picture here of the Lagos house in Marina where 10 staff tested positive for coronavirus yesterday. Now, there is here a COVID-19 update here, and you can see states and, of course, figures of those who are infected, with the most being in Lagos at 1,491 and the least Anambra with just 1 case. A total 3,526. 601 people have been discharged. 107 people have sadly passed on. And yeah, and it goes on to show you Africa and the world. Okay, NAFDAC screening local cures for COVID-19. Federal government, this is good. This is good. This is good. We can do it. Jump line there. Okay, but just before that, the rider says worries over continued repatriation of Almajiri by states, expresses concern over escape of patients from isolation centers, and why FG ignored Ganduje's 15 billion naira request presidency. Akeredolu, Fayemi order arrest of face mask social distancing violators. Okay. Mystery deaths. Kano loses another professor and 2 others. 25 passengers on flight from Kano to Beirut test positive. And let's, on a lighter note here, just, okay, but let's look above the flag of the paper. Lockdown. Rivers Edo accuse police of sabotage as Ayade turns back 5 truckloads of Almajirai. Herdsmen unleashed terror in Delta, killed 2. And fresh $319 million Abacha loot in UK, France, says US. Wow. Wow. Now, zoning crisis tears Ondo APC and Unity Forum apart. Okay, LCC one says COVID-19, LCCI, short to medium term outlook for economy bleak. That's around the world, not just in Nigeria. And to round up on a lighter note here, bottom right corner, Mr. and Mrs. here. Mrs. is saying she asked you to help her get gas at the filling station, and you did. What nonsense. That Kuru girl had better watch it. Her name is Karo, not Kuru. Okay, just to make you smile there, become a smile. That's all on the front page of the Vanguard. There's much more there. And then on to The Nation. Lagos discharges 48 as a government house workers test positive. The rider underneath goes on to say Nigeria records highest daily 381 coronavirus cases. We can see here, bubbling again, the historic fish market of Catania, Sicily, Italy, on its first day of reopening after it was shut down due to the spread of coronavirus. Yesterday, this picture was taken yesterday. Government frowns at security agents' role in interstate travel breach. Okay, self-isolation has failed, says minister. And then top of the flag there, we can see another $319 million Abacha loot in UK and France. Wow. INEC to issue new guidelines for Ondo, and Edo elections. Music legend Victor Olaya buried in Lagos. Solemn event at Ikoyi. And then, yeah, you can see here numerical representation of cases of COVID-19 around the world, in Africa, and of course in Nigeria also. All of that on the front page of The Nation. Let's see. The Daily Sun. I have a Daily Sun here. 10 Lagos government house staff test positive. The annotation underneath that headline goes on to say Sanwo-Olu and wife test negative. And the picture story here is that of an interstate commercial vehicle and its passengers intercepted by the Kwara Command of the Federal Road Safety Corps at Enyikorin, an entry point to Lorin, Kwara State, yesterday. Okay. And security beefed up at Enugu boundaries over Alamajiri influx. That's beside the paper flag there. And a judge who pronounced annulment of June 12 election dies in Bauchi. A fresh $319 million Abacha loot expected from UK and France. PDP mulls 10-year extension for 23 states, EXCOs and others. COVID-19, we are at war, says FG. Okay, and then we have here, urges Nigerians to resist efforts by individuals and groups to endanger citizens' collective survival. Government may be pushed to review guidelines. And this is a pictorial representation of Nigeria and COVID-19 prevalence in the country as per the different states. There is no case in Kogi, and allegedly that's because of no testing there. Well, yeah, Kogi and Cross River are the only states now that don't have any reported case of coronavirus. All of that on the Daily Sun. And then from the Daily Sun, let's look at The Guardian. The Guardian, conscience nurtured by truth. Southeast, South clamp down on Alamajiri relocating from North. And Ohaneze, IPOB, others blow hot as states turn back bus loads. The second annotation there, police deny complicity, blame recalcitrant drivers. Presidential task force knocks security agencies on travel restriction. And there's a picture story there. As the Borno COVID-19 response team relaxed the lockdown, residents failed to adhere to physical distancing and wear face masks at a market in Maiduguri yesterday. And why NNPC ex-depot price cut may not affect petrol. Pump price should not exceed 70 naira, PDP insists. And INEC says Ondo gubernatorial election schedule intact to engage parties. And customers kick as MultiChoice implements tariff increase on the 1st of June. All of that on the front page of The Guardian. Now that's all on our review of headlines to the dailies this morning. We'll take a breather and return with what's up and about around town.
People say that nobody loves them. They have not found somebody to be in a relationship with them or to love them the way they are. And I ask, and I've heard somebody ask this question before at a seminar and says, if you were the other person, would you love you? Are you the kind of person that you would love? Are you taking care of yourself? Are you taking care of yourself physically? Are you taking care of your appearance? Are you giving out a good energy to the world? Are you approachable? Are you nice? Are you kind? Are you Are you a conversationalist? Are you the kind of person that people would love to talk to? Are you the kind of person that people would want to be around? People would imagine themselves being with? Have you done the work to make yourself the kind of person that people want to fall in love with? Now, there is a movement going around the world that people should love you as you are. But the problem with it is that being yourself is on the spectrum. You can be the worst version of yourself, or you can be the best version of yourself. Nobody is saying you need to be a different person. But people, what we are saying is, nobody wants to date a project. Nobody wants to date somebody who has abandoned themselves so completely that the work remains on the head of the other person. People want their lives to be better. They want people that add value to themselves. They want people with whom they can enjoy life with. And you too want a person like that. You too want a person who is living an optimal, nourishing, positive life. So ask yourself, are you that kind of person that you want to date? Have you done the work of making yourself the best version of yourself? If you haven't, instead of moaning about it, get up, pick up your, paintbrush, pick up your gym equipment, pick up your a book, and become the kind of person that you would like to date. It's really that simple.
That's a major one, a big question there. Are you the kind of person that you can actually tolerate in another person? That's a question many people don't ask themselves. Unfortunately, that's a question many don't ask themselves.
You know, I feel like you can't be exactly what you are and expect to see exactly the same thing in another person. How do I mean? Like, you know, in physics, you tell us earlier that like forces repel, or like forces attract. I would love to see somebody with strengths that are my weaknesses. I like to see somebody with weaknesses that are my strengths. I think we'll complement each other. That's just...
In some cases, it works that way. It depends on how much of a weakness the other person has. That's always been my opinion. So if your weakness is such that you know you cannot tolerate it in someone else, why would you expect the person to tolerate it from you? So I believe that's the angle he is coming from. Like, and it even applies to us generally as Nigerians. In most cases, we try as much as possible to criticize other people. We try as much as possible to act like we are unbelievably perfect, and so to speak. But until we actually sit down and check out our faults, our weaknesses, we realize that most of the people around us are just managing us. They're just tolerating us. Yes, that's the word. So that's the reality.
True. Life is all about tolerance. I feel like one word or the other, we all have to tolerate ourselves, tolerate other people. That's the way we can chill. So Mary, good morning. Great to have you. How far? What happened? Tell us about your journey. How do you get? How was it getting here this morning?
It was not so tedious.
Okay.
It was more a case of a bit of traffic.
Checkpoints, right?
Yes.
How many,
no, they weren't checkpoints this morning. I guess that the checkpoints get relaxed at 6. Okay. So the officers at the checkpoints probably just take a break till evening again. Okay. So that also helps ease the manpower, because there will be people who needed to manage the situation during the day, unlike before when it was basically just roadblocks and also. It wasn't so bad anyway.
But traffic by this morning, by this time?
Just light traffic here and there. People have to get together. Today is Computer Village Day. Okay, and so any day Computer Village Day Friday, is, especially on the mainland, you should just expect
so people have to do
traffic, because people want to do other things.
Other stuff, because I know a number of people, if your phone got bad during the lockdown, or your laptop, or Benny, or your own.
We were able to identify with that. I had no phone from like the second day of the lockdown till the end of the lockdown.
How did you fix your? Where did you now fix your phone?
I fixed it about was it not last week? So a colleague of mine actually happened to have someone who fixes it in his neighborhood. Okay. So he called the guy. I gave him my phone, sorted it out, and then brought it back for me.
You spent almost 3 weeks?
Yeah, over 3 weeks actually. So like I fixed my phone just last week. The lockdown was easy.
How did you do it?
Me, I've always believed that I can find other medium. It's just WhatsApp I missed. That's all.
I do have before then I had that thinking in my mind. Look, man, if your phone should have an issue at this point, at this period. You're on a long thing. You're on your own because getting across to people that will probably, if it's a screen that's broken, that one's even going to be harder, you know. So
I know if it's broken screen, one can't help. The reason my own wasn't so bad was apparently it was just a case of the phone shifting. It fell. So something shifted. So all the man had to do was help me readjust it, I guess.
Readjust it and all that.
If it was a screen problem, couldn't funny. I might not even be able to get it fixed this week because
right?
the cost of things in Computer Village. I actually went to fix my mom's phone. The screen was bad. And the screen that you buy at, say 10,000, for example, is now costing about 16,000. And you're like, what's happening? Whoa. Is it from the sellers who are telling you that they don't have any hope of replacing the items? Or is it from the guys repairing themselves that are like, what if they extend lockdown next week? Let me make as much as I can. So it then makes you wonder how people are coping this period. Everybody's just trying to hustle crazy amounts, even transportation as well.
Yes, I knew, I expected that one because if you tell the bus driver that will take 3 or 4 on his seat to take only 2, he would of a necessity want to hike the price. So, you know, and the one that was really shocking was when I heard that some routes that if you were going to a short route, they won't take you, they'd want to take a longer route where they'll probably get
so
more
most people have had to walk, which is a problem again because it's further exposure. So in a situation where you want to go from point A to point B, say for example, if you're around Ogba, for example, you cannot go from a particular point on a bike anymore. Yeah, you have to either go to the main road to get a keke, or you should be ready to walk. Israelite journey, my people, I'm telling you. So you think people are actually getting fit, but you're getting people who are actually tired and frustrated. So it's kind of wonky. And then there's the issue of banks as well.
Okay. They rushed there.
So I made the mistake of not replacing my ATM card.
Oh, wow.
Before
so it's
lockdown.
Expired. How come? How is
I
that?
did not. It wasn't.
How is it that so many people's cards expired?
It wasn't even the expiration.
What happened?
So I decided that I didn't need an ATM card. I would be doing online transfer.
Banking.
But you know my phone went bad.
Oh.
So when I fixed my phone, wanted to install my online banking again, I realized that
you need the ATM.
There was even a particular bank that didn't need my ATM. As in wonderful bank. I don't know. People should go and learn from that bank. All it needed was I could remember my login details. And it opened up, which was shocking. It only said, okay, you have to go to the branch to get certain amounts. So
when you said you got your phone back, I was thinking that you got your phone back. I just started seeing debit alert.
Guy, respect yourself. You know the problem with that? It is somebody that has money in their account that you debit.
Mary, stop saying this thing. Mary, you are Lady O now. You have
Forget Lady O.
You are Lady O, Solace sister.
Guy,
the Solace.
Let's not go down that route.
When I did give away?
Which giveaway? Away give. Please give yourself away.
When I did give away, maybe I'm on your Twitter. When I did give away for Solations on Twitter, you need to do giveaway, Mary. No, we're not taking this.
See, you don't understand.
You will not take this.
Do you remember what happened to Eniola Badmus last week? Do you remember what happened to Eniola Badmus? If you want to give money away, please give it to me. I will help you give it away. I'll be as transparent as possible. I have many people that are asking me for money. So if you are in a generous mode, you can also reach out to me. I'll help you give it away. But say me. I don't give myself away.
What she did, was it wrong? I don't think it was wrong. I don't know the details, but she was asking for payment for services to use her account as a platform for giveaway, which I think that they will probably not come and meet me because I have not grown up to that. She has how many followers?
She has hundreds of thousands.
Do you understand?
But you know, it's not by how many followers, it's by the generosity.
What I'm saying is that the person would not have come to meet me. The popularity.
Well, it's true, Sha. The person could have done it from their hands.
Exactly. So, but you went to meet her for a reason. And that should count.
Yeah.
And that should count to her. It should financially favor her.
You know, in the third hour, we're going to be checking out social media. So if you have an opinion, especially on the lockdowns relaxation so far, what your experience has been between Monday and now, you might want to share. So just reach us via @TVC Connect on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You can make your post. And of course, remember to use the hashtag #WakeUpNigeria on TVC, okay? We'll be looking forward to checking out your comments on that.
Please do that. All right? Okay, we'll take a short recess and we'll be right back after this.
Stay with us. Welcome to the second lap of your favorite breakfast show, Wake Up Nigeria.
It's a Friday, and of course, every Friday is special here. It heralds the weekend. I know for a lot of you, weekend and weekday, there's no difference now, but hey, come on. We are grateful that we all made it through another week in one piece.
Yes, so thank you so much for staying with us. And if you're just tuning in, again, welcome to the second hour on Wake Up Nigeria.
Now, of course, whatever plans you might have for the weekend, even though it looks like a weekday now, stay conscious, practice social distancing, of course, use your face mask, right, if you have to step out of the house. I am Mike Masikeno.
And my name is Mary Bashwa Alimi. I stream the show live at tvcentertainment.tv and on Facebook at TVC Connect.
Download our app and you can watch us anywhere around the world once you have internet connection, okay? There's quite a lot to come in this second segment. Okay, so what's up? What are we expecting?
Coming up shortly is a look at the recent developments in the world of sports, and that will be with Omar Akatuba.
Of course, that's Mikel Arteta, who recovered from COVID-19. We can't wait for a resumption of sports and football. And of course, joining us via Skype is Dr. Seed, singer, songwriter, and rapper. We're going to be talking about his music and what else he's been up to.
If you want to stay fashionable with your face mask, well, we've got Folake Oyemade of Sam and Sarah Fashion, who will join us via Skype to showcase some stylish face masks.
And of course, that's Saka. We'll have Simply Saka on the show. He is going to be here and we'll be talking about what he's been up to and also trying to glean some things from his well of wisdom.
Parboiled buffet. We don't have parboiled buffet, son. You know, which buffet? Which buffet?
Correct. There's nothing more beautiful than that. It happened to me before. I was in a store in the UK.
Okay.
And I was talking to the person I was with in Yoruba. And then the lady said, Homo Yoruba ni?
The UK.
Everything changed. Everything changed.
UK is Yoruba
really
extension.
Cool.
UK is Yoruba extension.
No, you know the thing is this, where I was is not the usual. It's just like when you go to the US.
Okay.
When you want to look for Nigerians, you just go to Maryland. That's their headquarters.
Oh.
In the UK, mostly in London. But like
Okay.
I was in the north, I was in Nottingham.
Oh, okay.
So seeing someone that actually, understood my language, it was really cool. It was really cool.
It was. I think
made me feel good.
Exactly. And outside the country, we are all Nigerians. By the way,
Yes.
it's easier to identify whether north, south, west, and all of that. Right there, like we have to be there for each other. Like we got each other and all of that. So hey,
But are you going to
I think it's
ignore the wickedness in that stuff? Parboiled buffet.
Did he wait to even know what he was talking about? Like parboiled buffet, like
Is that parboiled?
Seriously?
And
Seriously?
then buffet, like what?
I mean, man. So if you're going to go out to somewhere you've not been before, someone like me now, okay. Is there a Chinese restaurant open at this point in time? Because I feel like Chinese restaurants, people having beef for them around the world. I remember the first and only time I've ever gone to a Chinese because I don't really, prior to this time, I'm not really a Chinese food fan. And when I went there and they were preparing the courses and all, there was this guy. So it was kind of a meeting and fun kind of hangout. So it was a meeting really. So we're there and it was this Chinese and man, they were bringing in stuff. It was like a 4 or 5 course meal. So they brought in first course and all of that. I saw some interesting stuff around all of that. I wasn't so, but there was this guy that took like everything. He wiped his plates clean. But hey.
Chinese food is very tasty. I'm a huge fan of Chinese food. Very tasty.
So we know the
quite
people
nutritious.
that
Don't worry, we don't have it. That's not the reason I have heights like this. Let's move on to the news.
So,
right now.
Ibrahim, you have
Ibrahim
not
is
been
on
around for
standby.
quite a while. A number of your fans and family have been asking for you. Ibrahim, we need you every day. Ibrahim, tell us, why have you not been around every single day? Tell us.
Well, I don't know how to answer your question, but I think I decided just to go on a brief leave. I work during the weekend, and then I take my days off during the week.
Oh,
Thanks for joining us. Go ahead.
You have luck.
Mike, I really missed you. Welcome to the news. COVID-19 case numbers is steadily on the increase in Nigeria. On Thursday night, the country confirmed the highest single-day infections with 381 new cases. Once again, Lagos had the highest cases with 180, followed by Kano with 55. Jigawa had 44, Zamfara 19, Bauchi and Katsina each recorded 11 new cases, Borno 9, Kwara 8, Kaduna 7, Gombe 6, Ogun 5, Sokoto 4, Oyo 3, Niger 2, while Akwa Ibom, Enugu and Plateau each have 1 case respectively. The country's total number of confirmed cases stand at 3,526, with 61 discharged and 107 COVID-19 related deaths, while active cases at this time is 2,818. And smuggling people across states is becoming a trend among transporters in the wake of the ban on interstate travel due to the coronavirus. Dozens of those who made it to Abuja have been intercepted, but there are indications many more people have made it beyond security fault line. Sifon Essien reports.
A lorry conveying goods and people along the Madala-Zuba swathe of the Abuja-Kaduna highway. It has gotten this far apparently because of its payload. The ban on interstate travel due to the coronavirus has caused a traffic tailback on this section of the road in this Niger state boundary town with Abuja.
May they release us. We don't start to cover face.
This is the last major security post here before the metropolis of Abuja. There's a traffic tailback because security forces are searching every vehicle attempting to make its way either to the FCT or go beyond the FCT down to Kogi State. They are on the lookout for transporters smuggling people into Abuja and the neighboring states. It's a daunting task for law enforcement as there are many other routes in the area people can walk through. Dakwa, a disputed boundary town, is brimming with activity. People travel along this route undisturbed. We were told the only challenge for people smugglers is this checkpoint on the Murtala Mohammed Expressway near Day. Further down the road is another checkpoint. These offenders are brought before mobile courts. Their offenses range from violating the travel ban to breaking the curfew.
Definitely, as you noticed, there has been some violations, but the machinery put in place is able to take care of that. It takes care of those that have refused to follow the conventional route and gone through other routes. We put mechanisms in place whereby we intercept them and deal with them appropriately.
On the directive of the Commissioner of Police and in accordance with the
Luck ran out on this transporter. He and those he smuggled among cattle were apprehended before they could get to the metropolis of Abuja. Now they are to be returned to Lambata in Niger State from where they had come.
They used bushback and arrived to FCT and arrived into FCT. We are now escorting them back to Niger.
It's 10 p.m. and the FCT Task Force on Free Flow of Traffic rounds up these people at AYA in their Sokoro district.
From Kano.
They had gotten into Abuja days back and are attempting to return to Kano.
Since there are no vehicles on the road, and this is my job, I had to do it.
Been moving for days now. They've moved into Maraba, whatever way they passed through. Now they are going back to Kano this night here. It's very unfortunate. On the other side here, we see persons coming in from Benue.
The FCT Police Commissioner notes the enormity of enforcing the travel ban and the curfew, but he is pleased with the cooperation he's getting from residents.
Abuja residents have been very wonderful. We receive more phone calls 24 hours a day. They're very much concerned. Once they see suspicious situations, they call us to give us information. We've been acting on this information. That is why we've recorded some degree of success.
There are indications that smuggling people across states will continue for as long as there are restrictions on movement. There is no law barring any Nigerian citizen from residing or moving to any part of the country. But due to the COVID-19 pandemic, the ban on interstate travel is still in force. Sifon Essien, TVC News, Abuja.
And the number of health workers infected with the coronavirus in Nigeria keeps rising as the country battles to halt the spread of the virus. All over the world, there are complaints of insufficient provision of personal protective equipment for frontline workers. And the story is not any different here. Health workers in both public and private centers have been lamenting the lack of hazmat suits, face shields, gloves and other protective gears that would limit their chances of contracting the virus while attending to infected persons. And that does it at this hour. Just stay tuned. We have more after this break.
This time, we are going to talk to the one. Posterior chain, straight to the matter. Now we're going to be using an accumulator. If you don't know, I'll tell you how to join the straight to the matter first. We're going to be using the window. All of you have window. But no problem, you're going to create a window with your body. And what to do? Yes, this is the window. Come on. Keep squeezing those posterior chain. Almost go on. And you are telling me, our boy. I want to see what's just keep squeezing. No item, no problem. Okay, straight. We don't go to the other room. We have to go back to what? Room 1. What is room 1? Window. Keep squeezing. No item. Don't worry, we are quarantined in the house. There is room for us to come back also. Good. We are using another computer. Second. Ah, yes. Superhero. Oh my head. Batman is next. Batman. You see how those bats fly. Emma fly. Emma now go vegetables. Because we have to strengthen the immune system. Come on, brother. We can't go to Spider-Man. We have to replace what? Window sends an accumulator. Accumulator things will create overload. When you create overload, your body will continue to burn for better. It's all about the fact that you have to keep squeezing. I'm wet. Straight to the matter. Oh yeah, proteins. Fly, you cannot take your leg. All the time, take your leg out. Squeeze the boy down, everything more to all the backbones, squeeze them. I'm feeling. Batman, go. Yes, now we're going to be. I'm actually Spider-Man. No, yes, Spider-Man. Yes, you know the way Spider-Man climb all those walls. Make sure you're squeezing it down. Interestingly, we're putting the lower body into an action again. So that I can clean the lower. Respire. We have to go to Superman. But unfortunately, because it is accumulator, I'm not going to see window. Come on, this is the time. You pay so much attention to what NDCC are saying. Stay in your house if you have any business outside. And be doing window. Come on. Unfortunately, we have to go back. Please goes in. Very easy to put fat. If you don't know, now you know. I keep watching along when it's MS on TV. This is still complete. With all those back muscles. With accumulator. We're going back. 9. But I saw this Spider-Man test. Squeeze those back muscles. Double. Squeeze it. That's it. Roller coaster. Superman. Let's fly. Come and fly away. We are going to fly away. COVID-19, we must fly it away. Make sure you do the practice. Come on, forward every day. Forward. Keep pushing. Almost there. Let's go on cotton. We're almost there. Finish up. Hold on, buddy. Let's finish everything. Finish up. It's going to be more 30 seconds. Follow me. Yes, it's time to follow me. Follow me with the party for bread. Tiny things. You like to run outside. Run your path. Run it up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Down. Hand release. Down. Keep running. You're not watching your hand. They are causing problem for us. If they are not staying in one place, they are still causing problem. We are going to be looking for all those people who are still carrying coronavirus. We must get them treated. Healthy practice. Occupy. Occupy. Me, I know the way again. I am tired.
Thank you for staying with us. And it's the big game. And I mentioned at the beginning of the show that there's a reason why I'm excited. Next week, just next week, May 16th, the German Bundesliga will be the first major European league to begin after plans were cut short by the coronavirus pandemic. Now, joining me today on the discussion is German-based ace journalist, reporter, sports analyst Omar Akatuba. Hello, Omar. Good morning. How are you doing?
I'm very well. Guten Morgen, as we say in German. Good morning for those who may be confused.
What's it again? Well, come again. Let me learn that.
We say Guten Morgen.
Whoa.
Good morning.
Good morning. Oh, wonderful. Great. So how's Germany?
No,
I mean, after...
Guten Morgen.
Oh, good to Morgan. Okay. I think I'll get better at it. So after Wednesday's announcement by the German Chancellor, first of all, how is movement like in Germany? How is life in Germany generally?
Well, life is gradually returning to not normal because there's still the lockdown. But of course, some businesses have been allowed to open, but of course with strict rules. Everyone must wear their mask. You must maintain 2-meter distance. Not everyone is allowed into a shop at a particular time. You can only order food at a restaurant. You can't eat it inside the restaurant. You can actually not eat your food 50 meters from the restaurant. So there are still stringent rules, but they are gradually opening businesses. Schools are open, but not all schools. The kindergartens are still closed. My kids are still at home. Just people in, high school who want to sit for their exams. So it's not completely open, but slowly opening, like something I don't want to mention.
All right, good. Wonderful. Now, the biggest news has to be how this ease of a lockdown has affected football. And that is, of course, May 16, next week, Saturday, the Bundesliga should officially kick off or resume after the break and all of that. What are your thoughts personally? Are you happy that this is happening? Do you think that they're making the right choice by kicking off football now, or do you think they should have waited a little bit more?
I mean, I don't think that it's a totally wrong idea, because when you look at football as a business, you would agree with me that it's not a bad idea to start playing football again, because if you allow barbing or hairdressing salons to reopen, why not football? That is a bigger business concern. Because I don't think that right now looking good is an essential business. Football, of course, also falls in that category. But if you are beginning to open up businesses slowly, football should also be given a fair chance, because football is a very big business in this country. The Bundesliga directly or indirectly employs over 30,000 people in this country. And of course, it's a huge economic driver. So on that note, you want to agree with the decision to allow the Bundesliga to restart. But of course, the proposal they presented to the German government was very convincing. And of course, they have started following their words with action by thoroughly testing everyone involved in the Bundesliga. Over 1,725 persons have been tested. We got test kits worth 2.5 million euros, 25,000 test kits, as a matter of fact. And then they've been centrally documenting all of the COVID-19 cases around the 36 clubs in the Bundesliga 1 and Bundesliga 2. And of course, they set up a COVID-19 task force, which is headed by a virologist, a professor in medicine. So they've done a beautiful job. And of course, they've set the example for all other countries in Europe who are also getting set, of course, to return to the
return to normal
again.
Wonderful. Now, talking about the test, yes, you made mention that over 1,700 tests were conducted. Reportedly, there were about 10 positive tests and all of that. In the course, let's say when the season resumes, if there are positive cases, is there any plan? Because I know that there's supposed to be like maybe twice a week or once a week testing. I'm not very sure. What is the plan for testing during the season when it returns? And then if there are positive tests, what would happen?
Okay, very good question. The plan is that every individual involved in each Bundesliga match will be tested, and only those with 2 negative results will be allowed to participate.
Okay.
And of course, only 333 individuals will be allowed into each Bundesliga ground. They are trying to limit to the first minimum the number of people that will be involved in the games as they continue. And of course, only those who return 2 negative tests will be allowed to play. But there's something that is interesting that I find a bit controversial, is that they say that if anybody tests positive, the clubs are not obliged to inform the press. What I think they're trying to do here is to avoid, a heavy, a barrage of criticism that will come if anybody tests positive as the league continues, because a lot of persons are basically against the idea. Persons who are in the medical field, of course, football fans are the biggest contenders to this decision to resume, to restart football. And these people are just waiting to see 1 or 2 positive cases again, and then they will go out all guns blazing. So I think that they're trying to avoid such a situation, because let me just say this clearly. The biggest motivation in the whole decision to restart football is business. The president of the Deutsche Fußballliga, Christian Steifert, in an interview with New York Times a month ago, said that if the Bundesliga doesn't restart, it will be ruinous to football in Germany. At least 1 club out of 3 Bundesliga clubs will go into financial crisis. And of course, they'll be losing something in the tune of 780 million euros. I'm sure that is what they want to avoid.
Okay, definitely. Wonderful. Now let's move on to something we've missed for a very long while, fixtures. Now, of course, the fixture list is the same one from when the season was paused, and it will pick up this weekend, of course, or next weekend when football resumes. So there's going to be the Raw Derby. We're going to have Schalke up against Borussia Dortmund and all that. Let's talk about the fixtures now. I know it's like a new season, so it's going to be very hard to gauge exactly where the players are. But what are your expectations? Let's start with Borussia Dortmund, will be up against Schalke 04. Let's talk about those fixtures. What are your expectations when they resume?
Interestingly, there's a with the feeling is different. It's not an exciting one actually, because there's still the palpable fear for the deadly coronavirus everywhere around Germany. Germany has over 160,000 cases. Of course, a low death rate and a fantastic recovery rate, which gives everyone around there some measure of hope and of optimism. But of course, nobody is absolutely excited except for those involved in football that the Bundesliga is becoming. So it's not something I'm actually excited about. Of course, the Ruhr Derby is one of the biggest derbies in European football, and of course, more especially in Germany, because these 2 clubs are from the region called North Rhine-Westphalen. Dortmund and Schalke are just about 45 minutes away, and anytime they clash, it's always something to watch. So I'm not expecting so much, because obviously both players are going to be quite rusty. They've not been involved in active football, even active training, for quite a long time. Of course, the Bundesliga resumed training over 3 weeks ago, so somehow the players would have been back in shape. But there's still this psychological thing about the virus somewhere in their head, which would somehow affect their level of competition. But again, this is sport, this is football. The moment you get on the pitch, you turn on the mood again, I think that they will all go out, all guns blazing. But again, playing football without the fans takes something big out of the game. I think that will somehow have its toll on the players. But hey, the league title is up for grabs. Dortmund is in the race to win that title. So I think for Dortmund, there will be much more to play for.
All right. They are 4 points behind Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich, of course, will be going away to Union Berlin. And do you think at this point in time, considering that the season, of course, is just resuming, do you think that the machine or the train that is Bayern Munich, do you think any club can stop them from romping to that title?
Bayern Munich is currently on a resurgence after sacking Niko Kovac. As Flick, the new man, has suddenly turned things around. He's done well even in the Champions League, beating Chelsea in the first leg, and of course waiting to complete the job in the second leg, no thanks to coronavirus. They've also appointed Miroslav Klose, 41-year-old Miroslav Klose, who played for Germany at the World Cup, played for Bayern Munich, who was before now the coach of the Bayern Academy. Now
Academy, yes.
To the assistant. Exactly. So Bayern Munich are basically doing a bit of reorganization within. I think they're going the way of Barcelona, where they're looking to bring in coaches who are not big names, but who have experience, who know the club in and out, and then do some magic. So Bayern Munich, I think that are actually prepared for the restart, and it looks like they're going to just take it off, take it from where they left off and win the league. I mean, in Germany, everyone expects Bayern to win the league before it starts. It's going to be a surprise when they don't win. When they win, it's normal. When they don't win, it's going to be a surprise. But of course, Dortmund and RB Leipzig are trying to beat down their neck. But at the end, the Bayern would take the title again.
Wonderful. Now, other leagues, the Spanish La Liga, the French League 1 was cancelled, the Spanish La Liga, the Italian Serie A, and of course the English Premier League also have plans. The Turkish League also have plans to resume. What can these leagues learn from Germany? Because as it stands, we know that the EPL, of course, have sent people to study what is happening in Germany and how they can kick off their league and all of that. But what can these leagues, what can they learn from the Bundesliga?
Well, the Bundesliga, being the bellwether in the thorny task to return football, has basically done a brilliant job in leading the ship and showing the way. And of course, a lot of the other leagues have been following the proceedings and of course learning and of course making contact with the guys at the Bundesliga. I'm sure that they must have learned thoroughness, seriousness, focus, because the Bundesliga actually knew what they wanted and they went out with all seriousness. They set up a COVID-19 committee, like I said, appointed a professor in medicine, and of course made clear their plan, presented it to the German government, presented a 51-page document to the German government, which was absolutely mind-blowing. And of course, the German government, after a series of deliberations, had to finally allow the league to go on because they were convinced by the proposal of the DFL. I think they would have also, basically given the same blueprint to those in Spain, those in England, those in Italy, and what have you, because in these countries as well, the coronavirus is biting very hard, and anything short of a very thorough, serious plan would be basically torn down by the various governments in this country. But I think that the German Bundesliga's progress and success has given hope and light to the other leagues around Europe.
Thank you very much, Omar. It's great talking to and gleaning from that insightful mind of yours. We're happy. Let's hope that the joys of football come to us in our households. And I forgot how to say good morning. What's it now in German? But hey, thank you very much for joining. It's been great having you. Yeah.
Before you go, let me quickly add that one of the recommendations as the league returns in Germany is that when or if any Bundesliga player or their partner is showing symptoms of the coronavirus, they shouldn't have sex.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. True, don't infect other people. True. Thank you very much, Omar. Thank you very much. All right, that was Omar Akatuba, of course, a journalist based in Germany, talking about the resumption of leagues in Germany, and of course, which will move on to the rest of Europe. We'll take a break now. There's still more to come. Don't go away.
My name is Chef Mike. Welcome to Urban Chef's Masterclass. Today we'll be preparing Yamarita Club. Hope you get to learn one or two things in this video. Thank you.
That looks yummy. Dipping that yamarita into sauce. Breakfast is ready. You know something funny about this plating? Every time I see it, I'm like, you plate this food. I'm sure it will finish before you finish plating it, especially if you're in a family like mine. Everybody's hungry. You're saying you're plating. Anyway, it's time for us to have a conversation, and we have been joined via Skype by Sydney Honoriode Esiri, a man who has been in the industry for more than a decade now. He is famous by his stage name, Dr. Seed. Now, he is a rapper, a singer, songwriter who has evolved over time in the music industry and is about to talk to us about his lockdown experience, new projects, and so much more. Dr. Seed, how you doing?
I'm great. How's it going?
Very well, thank you. Okay, so lockdown has been going on for a while now. It's been relaxed, but some people are still observing lockdown. Are you one of those?
Oh, I'm definitely still observing the lockdown. I'm not even trying to step outside.
Aha. So you haven't been out this past week?
No, I haven't.
Aha. Okay. But what has the experience been like for you?
I'm very lucky to have because I work at a company, at a web TV service.
Okay.
And I'm very lucky to have a boss who's actually very aware of the dangers of human contact and has kind of allowed everyone to sort of work from home.
Okay. Good for you then. Good for you. And then, of course, it also depends on the kind of job you do. So if it's something that you can work from anywhere, it makes it all the better.
Like you said now, essential staff. My job doesn't physically require me to be
there. Okay. So good for you, see? All right, so I was asking about your experience so far, 5 weeks at home, because it's 5 weeks now since you haven't gone out. What has it been like for you? What has your lockdown experience been like?
So for me, it's interesting because I'm actually like being in my own space, and I'm actually, this environment where I'm in is very zen for me. I've sort of set up my environment in a space in a way that I'm used to it. I actually like my own company, so it hasn't really been as bad. But then obviously, there are times when you realize how the human body or human mind is pretty much designed for companionship and for connection. So you kind of miss the connection. But for me, most parts, it's been a journey of self discovery and self-development.
Really good for you then. But I believe you're keeping safe since you're staying at home. You've got your mask if at all you have to go out.
Yeah, so I have like 3 safe.
Okay, so that's good. Now, I know you have loads of projects you're always working on. So besides this job you spoke about, you're also actively involved in music now.
Yes.
It looks like you're making your big comeback, so to speak. So what are you working on?
So, as of midnight today, last night, this morning, I had a new EP came out on Apple Music for streaming. It's called The Interesting EP. It's 5 songs.
Wow.
So that came out today. So I'm super excited. This is the first interview I'm doing since it came out. So yeah, it's exciting times. 5 songs I've been worked on for a while and just decided to share with people. And the response is actually very good. I haven't really slept all night because a lot of messages have been coming in about how people are excited about the project and they love the songs that are on it.
Okay, so you know how it is when you have like 5 songs on an EP. There's one that is after your heart, so to speak. Which of them is the one that is really dear to you? The one that probably talks about...
The thing is that every time they ask me this question, I have different songs mean different things to me. So on this project, there's a song called The Lifestyle, which features MI. And it's a very motivational, Surulere-esque kind of song that is about, motivation and digging deep and understanding that things will get better as long as you work hard. So that's precious to me in that way. There's a song called That's Interesting, which I did with Don Jazzy about 3 years ago, and it's finally coming out in this song. So that is special to me in that way. There's a song called Carry Go, which features 2 young girls, which I signed to my management company. So it's nice to be out with a song that you have artists that you're developing.
All right.
So, yeah.
All right. It's interesting that you would mention working hard, because so many people want to work hard, but then of course there's the lockdown literally locking us down. So I'm sure you have stuff to tell them, ways to motivate, encourage them right now, your fans in particular.
Yeah, so like I said, it's unfortunate that there are some people who really require movement outside to be able to live and eat, and I feel for those people. And the only advice that I can have right now is what I'm doing is I'm making use of the internet. Like, I'm taking 2 courses at the moment.
Okay. Looks like we're having connection issues, but I'm pretty sure it's to connect back. Okay, great. It's back. Okay. You said you were
Sorry, can you
you're
hear me?
working on 2 courses. I can hear you now.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So I'm taking 2 courses right now, and these are courses that are unrelated to anything that I'm doing now, because my mind is set up for a post-COVID situation where this might be the norm. So, it's like I'm making use of the internet. You have to develop yourself. You have to anticipate or think about the situation where you have to be able to earn money by not leaving your house. That's a possibility of the new norm. So my mind is being prepared for that. A lot of artists aren't doing any shows right now, so digital streaming has to be the way. So I have to learn more about social media marketing and digital marketing to be able to push the craft that I have. So it's literally sitting down, like I said, reflecting on yourself, deciding who you are, what you want to be, what you want to do, and then using the internet and the tools available to you to develop yourself to be able to do that.
Fantastic. So it's all about the internet at the end of the day. Great stuff.
Yeah.
Last. Interesting conversation so far. Thank you so much for your time, Dr. Sid. All right. Keeping safe, all right? Okay, so that's about it. And of course, that brings us to the end of the second hour this morning on Wake Up Nigeria. We still have about 45 minutes left to go, and of course, loads more stuff for you. And we need you to stay right there with us. We'll be right back.
The third lap on Wake Up Nigeria this morning. We still have 45 minutes to go, and there's quite a bit to share with you.
Yes, so it's been a wonderful 2 hours on your numero uno show. Welcome to the third hour. Endeavor to stay with us to the end, though. My name is Mary Bashwa Alimi.
Mike Mesikeno is my remember. Wash your hands regularly with soap and running water. Sanitize. Stay indoors if you don't have to go out, and if you have to do, you have to use a face mask.
Yes, very important. You should also hold your hand sanitizer so you can sanitize as often as you can. And of course, don't forget to stream the show live at tvcentertainment.tv if you have to go out, and on Facebook at TVC Connect.
Send your comments to the hashtag Wake Up Nigeria on TVC. We'll take them a little bit later on the show.
Yeah, and don't forget to use the hashtag Wake Up Nigeria on TVC. It's really, really important. If you haven't yet, you should also download our app at both Android and iOS stores. Now, this app allows you to watch us from absolutely anywhere in the world, so you might want to quickly do that now, all right?
All right, we also have a little bit more fashion. Fashion is coming right up. A face mask and fashionable face mask. And a face mask are now a fashion statement. Folake Oyemade of Sam and Sarah will join us via Skype to showcase some stylish face masks.
Not forgetting Afiz Oyetoro, a Nigerian comic actor popularly known as Saka, a brand who has been a great part of many TV series and movies. We'll be having a conversation with him as well in the course of the show. Okay, so
Saka.
I know, right there.
Yeah, I know how much of a news he made when he had that when he ported from one network to another. Man, that was big. Like it was a coup. It was a coup d'etat. It shook advertising everywhere. You know, it lets you understand the power of an influencer. That's a real influencer. Yeah. You know, not. He's a real influencer, that's just it. You know, social media has made a lot of us, okay, you have a particular number of followers and you feel like you're an influencer. Basically, you have to influence to be an influencer. They'll have to be able to do something because of you said it.
You know,
because
it's
you do it.
funny about this influencing thing. I am of the opinion that face masks is something that should be part of our style for a very long time. And I posted something during the week. I don't know if you know these people called Eleha.
No, who are they?
Folks who like have their entire body covered.
Okay.
And I
okay,
said,
okay.
these people seem to be, people who dress like that happen to be the safest at the moment.
Mm.
So it has come to a time when you need to have your body all covered up. Not necessarily to make a fashion statement, of course it will evolve to that, but just to protect yourself. The virus keeps evolving, keeps mutating, so you never know what's going to happen next. So this is something that more fashion folks should be looking at now. Clothes that really cover you up and are still stylish. That's the way forward, man. That's the way forward.
And you know, there's been a lot of conspiracy theories concerning the mask, about how the mask is aiding the spread and all of that. There's just one thing I want to say. Nobody has ever said that the mask would, it will stop you from catching it, but it will stop you from giving out. More or less like if you're going to sneeze and there are droplets and there's a mask above you, or you are talking and there's a mask above you and then you are in a crowded place. Now that's the concept of mask when you're outside. Because some people have asked, oh, you're in the studio, why not wear a mask? We're not in a crowded place, we're not outside. When you're outside in a public place and then you have people, please, the mask would ensure that you don't spread your droplets around and all that. So please, with all the conspiracy, I won't tell you what side.
The thing is this,
You
there
want all your
was a
theories.
research I actually read, decided to go to several pages to confirm it, and I was able to. And it turns out that a particular university, a teaching hospital in South Korea, did a study of the effects of masks. So 4 patients were made to wear surgical masks and cloth masks, and also just their face. So each time they were asked to sneeze into a petri dish. The first time was without a mask. The second time was with surgical mask. The third time was with cloth mask. And guess what? All 3 times there were droplets. So your mask does not prevent you from spreading it. Now here's what happens. When you have it, before my goes Mary, but let's assume you have it, you sneeze. I have my mask on. So I'm also protecting myself from getting the whole thing in my face. So as you sneeze, your mask has prevented some of the droplets and the spreading. So by the time it gets to me, I'm also a bit more protected. So it only reduces your chance. So I'm saying this for the benefit of those who think because you are selling surgical mask, your mask is better. No. Surgical masks, cloth masks are really not so effective against COVID-19. There are actually certain masks that are said to be able to help in the prevention. I think those ones that are like plastic or foam like this. But you see the regular surgical mask and cloth mask. Just make sure you cover yourself and avoid people sneezing. It's important, okay?
Okay, all right. Okay, yeah. So let's head to the news now. Ibrahim is on standby for that one now.
I mean, Mike, you want to sneeze?
They don't so sneeze this anyhow. You hold this sneeze.
You know when I cleared my throat during the news, I was like, who say, hey?
You hold this sneeze. You hold it. All right.
Right, COVID-19 case numbers is steadily on the increase in Nigeria. On Thursday night, the country confirmed the highest single-day infections with 381 new cases. Once again, Lagos had the highest cases with 180, followed by Kano with 55. Jigawa had 44, Zamfara 19, Bauchi and Katsina each recorded 11 new cases. Borno 9, Kwara 8, Kaduna 7, Gombe 6, Ogun 5, Sokoto 4, Oyo 3, Niger 2, while Akwa Ibom, Enugu and Plateau each have 1 case respectively. The country's total number of confirmed cases stand at 30,526, with 601 discharged with 107 COVID-19 related deaths, while active cases at this time is 2,818. 48 more COVID-19 patients in Lagos have been discharged after recovering from the virus. Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu announced this on Thursday evening. He said 28 of the patients were discharged from the mainland infectious disease hospital, Yaba. 6 of them were from Lekki, 1 from the Onikon Center, and 13 from Luth isolation centers. Governor Sanwo-Olu said they were discharged, having fully recovered and tested negative to COVID-19 in 2 consecutive readings. For now, coronavirus has infected 3,145 people and claimed 103 lives in Nigeria. The number of health workers infected with the coronavirus in Nigeria keeps rising as the country battles to halt the spread of the coronavirus. All over the world, there are complaints of insufficient provision of personal protective equipment for frontline workers, and the story is not any different here. Health workers in both public and private centers have been lamenting the lack of hazmat suits, face shields, gloves, and other protective gears that will limit their chances of contracting the virus while attending to infected persons. And that does it on the news for today on Wake Up Nigeria. Do stay with us. Bye now.
Thank you for staying tuned. Since the beginning of the show, we've been talking about face masks. And it's only right that we have Folake Oyemade of Sam & Sarah Fashion joining us via Skype. And she's going to be telling us some more about the effectiveness of face mask. Great to have you here, Folake. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Fantastic. All right, so Folake, the debate for the effectiveness of face mask has been ongoing for a very long time. So it's a great one that we have you here to shed light on that. So when we talk about face mask, how effective in general are they?
They are actually very effective because when you do wear face mask, not only do you protect yourself from the virus, the coronavirus, and many other viruses and bacteria out there, you also protect people around you. As you may know, when people talk, almost everyone tends to have droplets coming out of their mouths. And these droplets are, like your saliva from your mouth. So if you have any form of infection, that means the droplets already have the infection. And in the case of the coronavirus that is so contagious, when your droplet, as you speak, drops on someone, around you, that means the person may potentially contract it from you. Yeah. But when you wear the face mask, especially when you do wear very well-made and effective ones, that cannot happen. Your droplets stay within your face mask. Now, there are various kinds of face masks. I've seen so many recently that it looks like a lot of people are getting it really wrong. People buy face masks as per the cost. They think a face mask is just having some kind of clothing around your face, around your mouth and nose, but that's not it. The most effective of these face masks are the ones that are made with cotton. Okay. In fact, the CDC in the US recommends that you should use cotton of between 180 gram and 220 gram, okay, 2-ply. And it should necessarily cover your nose and your mouth. So when people wear face masks and they pull it down, it defeats the whole purpose and the whole essence. Because not only is it supposed to protect your droplets from getting out, it protects other people's droplets from affecting you. It protects the virus because, as we know, it's kind of airborne. When these droplets come out, sometimes it hangs around in the air for the next 4 hours or more. And when that happens, if you are passing by where the droplets is still hanging in the air without a face mask, you potentially inhale it in. And that's where you can actually be infected. So those are the minimal recommendation for face mask, the double-ply cotton. Of course, you can use polyester as long as it is breathable. Okay. Now, the most effective of these face masks are the ones that have what they call filters. Now, filters are not just when you go into the market and you buy, I hear people these days just buy what they call gum stay or hair stay or something, and they just put it in the face mask. That is not a filter. A filter is a PM 2.5. A PM 2.5 filter has 5 layers, and each of the layers have their various functions in protecting you.
Okay.
So the most effective ones are actually the ones that are made of this 2-ply cotton and at the same time have a pocket inside where you can insert these filters.
Okay.
Usually these filters are reusable and they're also washable.
Okay.
Unfortunately, they are not entirely very available locally, but you can still source them from people who bring them in and get them.
Okay.
So those are still the best and the most effective rewashable and reusable face masks.
All right. Okay, so for those who might not have access to the recommended cotton, what kind of face mask can they make use of? Just at least in the interim. Is it a case of you folding the clothes over and over again before achieving what you want? Or how do you...
Just
go ahead, please.
Yes, just like we've seen severally on CNN, you can actually get your bandana and fold it over and over again, put elastic band and put it over your face, or your regular scarf, even if it is not cotton. The reality of it all, though, is that any face mask is better than no face mask at all.
Exactly, that's the idea.
Yeah, but if you really, really do want to protect yourself, you do need one with filters.
Yeah. So in protecting yourself is when you need certain types of face mask, but then at the end of the day, any face mask is better than not even using anything to cover yourself at all.
Yes, and ideally, a good face mask should have a metal nose clip at the top, at the upper part of the mask, in order to have it stay on your nose rails. Because you do find people wearing face masks and it is sliding down their face. So they have their nose outside. It is merely covering their mouth. That is not right at all. You do not get any reasonable protection from that. Because that means your nose rails are still open to infection and you are still open to infecting people around you if you carry the virus.
Now, for those who might have certain ailments, say, for example, maybe breathing issues and all, using that clip, will it not cause some kind of discomfort?
No, you see the clip is above your nose. It's going to be on the ridge, the upper part of your nose, if you understand what I mean. However, talking about face masks, there are face masks with valves. Some people call them respirators. Those are those ones that have like the plastic clip outside of it. I don't know if you've noticed them.
Yeah.
Those ones are
around
usually
the valve.
Exactly. It has it, just at the side.
Yeah.
It's a valve, but some people call them respirators. So the face mask with the respirators would enable you to breathe better if you have issues with breathing.
All right, fantastic. Thank you so much for your time, Folake. It's been quite an enlightening conversation, talking about the effectiveness of face mask as well as knowing which ones actually work best for you. Now, to wrap it all off, Folake.
It is also important to know where you can get such face masks to
Yeah, that was what
buy.
I was going to ask you now.
Exactly. We at Sam and Sarah, we make such face masks. We have all the raw materials. We have the nose clips, we have the ventilators, we have the filters. So we make the ultimate. We make the general one, depending on your budget. But if you really want the ultimate protection, we can give you exactly what you require because we have all the raw materials.
All right,
in-house.
fantastic. Thank you so much for your time, Folake. I hope you continue to stay safe during this period.
I surely will stay safe.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. All right, then, we'll have to take this break. We'll be right back for more. Stay with us. Thank you for staying tuned. Of course, we mentioned having a conversation with Afiz Oyeturu, a Nigerian comic actor, popularly known as Saka. He's a household brand who has been a great part of many TV series and movies. He's currently a lecturer in the Department of Theatre Arts at Adeniran Ogunsanya College of Education, Lagos State. And we have him live on Instagram. So if you have access to Instagram, you might want to join us via at TVC Connect, all right? We are currently live with the gentleman himself. Hello. We mentioned having a conversation with Afiz Oyeturu, a Nigerian comic actor, popularly known as Saka. He's a household brand who has been a great part of many TV series and movies. He's currently a lecturer in the Department of Theatre Arts at Adeniran Ogunsanya College of Education, Lagos State. And we have him live on Instagram. So if you have access to Instagram, you might want to join us via at TVC Connect.
Morning, madam. How are you today?
Very well, thank you. Thank you so much for joining us, sir. How have you been coping lockdown-wise? The lockdown has been going on for a while now. Were you able to go out this week, or you decided to still stay indoors?
I haven't gone out. I decided to stay. I decided to give myself a week more to study the situation on ground before I can go out.
Okay, so you chose to stay indoors this week.
At least for this week, let me see what happens.
Okay, so there's a possibility you're planning next week, right? Okay.
Yeah, hello?
Yeah. Yes, can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. I can hear you now. Yeah.
Fantastic. Okay, so I was asking if you plan to go out next week.
It depends on what happens this week. Okay. Because I discovered that the number of these people, affected is increasing. Yeah. And that means that that's danger. I don't think that it was good for us to have gone out this week. But maybe because of the situation in the country, the government does not want tension, and then they don't want to generate riots and all that. So they decided to allow people to go out. But the truth of the matter is that COVID-19 is still very much around. And I studied the situation on ground. People are not actually obeying the World Health Organization rules and regulations guiding COVID-19. No social distancing. People are not wearing their face mask. And a lot of things are going on. Well, I don't know yet. Let's see what happens at the end of this week. Then then I will know whether I will go out or not.
Okay. So 5 weeks indoors. How has the experience been like for you? Has it been tough, especially are you an outgoing person, or it's been a case of normal day, another day? What is it like for you?
Sometimes in every department, every disappointment, there's always a hidden blessing. This time around, for a very long time, I've not been home, this long. So this time around, it gives me the opportunity to relax, stay with my family, get to know my children more and all that, and then get enough rest. Although it's becoming boring now. And then, financial wise, when you are not really getting more, when you're not getting income, then what you have is already going off. And so I, one or two times I've tried to also do a little support for people around us here. And I have also initiated some initiative with my friends so that we can get things, get donuts from people, and then share with some of these people on the street. The fact still remains that it's been very, very tough. But for me, I think that is an opportunity for me to relax, to actually stay more in the house, to actually plan more. And then whenever the lockdown is totally off, then one will go off and start to create a better content.
Okay. And talking about content, did you have any projects as at the time of the lockdown that had to be postponed, or do you have something you're
Yeah, of course. Right. Hello, can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me? Oh my God.
Thank you so much for joining us. For everyone who joined us on IG Live, fantastic. I've got to say a very big thank you to you. Saw some of your messages telling us you love the show. Thank you so much for always watching. It's great to know that you're on the other side of the TV watching us, and of course that encourages us a great deal. We have to say a very big thank you to all our supporters and contributors in particular, and to you especially for always watching. Thank you so much. Mike and I are saying have a great weekend indoors, and of course enjoy this lovely music video. Bye for now.